Well, hello. How are you? Welcome back to the RockStar Roadie podcast, 2026 edition. Today is a personal one. No guests today, so I don't got to give you the spiel, the rules of the show, because well, they don't apply because I don't have guests. But just to be aware, I do have to kind of script this out because my OCD and ADHD kind of will keep this thing going for, hours on end, so to speak. But I had to write it out because there is some things I want to say, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. Just want to kind of give you updates and talk about a couple things. But so, like I said, this today is a personal one. I'm releasing this now because, well, I got home from the road a couple weeks ago, and it's taken me a few weeks just to kind of get into the back to normal. Um, you know, on the road, we have, tons of miles, long days, late nights, a lot of time spent away from home, from family, from the people that keep us grounded. And it's taken me a few weeks, like I said, to get readjusted into normal life. And there's a lot going on the personal side of life here. So, you gotta just kind of go with it. But so if you're tuning in right now or any day, thank you for giving me a few minutes of your world. I don't take that lightly by any chance. Being on the road, especially around the end of this year or any year hits different. It's a strange mix of gratitude and weight that I am grateful that I get to do what I do and what I love and, and the cost that it comes with doing what I do and any road crew member, for that matter. Um the time and the distant, the quiet, the moments that nobody sees, they weigh heavy on you. Sometimes, you get lost in your own head when you don't have a routine on a day. Um, but even out there rolling city to city, our touring community, this podcast and the incredible people I've worked with make it feel to a point less lonely. Um, so I do want to say to every guest that I sat down with this past year, thank you. You didn't just show up to do an interview with me. You showed up with honesty, vulnerability, humor, pain, real stories from the trenches of this industry and from your personal life. You trusted me and my listeners with your truth, and that trust means everything to me and to so many people. Um, to everyone who listens, watches, and shares, comments, and reaches out, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You bring this podcast into your cars, your bunks, your kitchens, your gyms, your venues. You made this show part of your life, and it's because of that you gave it a heartbeat. Um, it's never lost on me that you can be doing so many different things. I'm just a regular guy trying to make a difference in one person's life. The overwhelming amount of emails, messages that I receive, it just blows my mind that it's not lost on me that people don't want to talk about things, but when they do reach out saying things to me, the show helped them or whatever the case, that means the world, and that's my goal. There's also I wanted to say thank you to some people and also the band and crews that I've had the honor of working with this year. To name a few that are extremely important in my life, I want to say thank you because they put up with me. They put up with me a lot. My wife for her support, my children and my four-legged ones, my brothers PJ Farley and Chris Farinas, my brother from another mother, Ryan Smith, Sandy Espinoza, Mark Hogue, Glenn Kaufman, Jamie Thien, for believing in me and joining the podcast and helping me with so much stuff. And there's so many more I want to say thank you to, but I would literally sit here for hours. And what's important to me too is thanking the bands that I've worked for because they treat you right. You should show them some gratitude and some respect because they treat you with gratitude and respect. Um, and again, I had to write all this out because I don't have the memory capacity I used to. To the Sabotage band and crew, thank you for the passion and the history and the fire and the privilege of working alongside such iconic artistry. You guys, Sabotage is just such a legacy band and has such an impact on metal, it was I had a blast, we had fun in South America and just great guys. To the Trans Siberian Orchestra band and crew, your dedication, talent are unmatched. In 2 shows a day, man, it's brutal. What you pull off night after night is unreal and special. I miss all of you, and I'll see you at the end of this year. This one's important to me, especially the Bon Jovi band and crew. Thank you for the friendship, the laughter, the laughs, the professionalism, and the relentless energy you bring every single show day. This year, I'm so looking forward to having some fun and laughing our asses off. Each of these bands have reminded me why the road chaos and all of it feels like home. Um, this year reinforced something important to me, that roadies and entertainment industry professionals were built tougher than normal on the outside, but we're not invincible. And what I mean by that is we all carry stories heavier than half the gear on the truck. We all need places where it's okay to talk, real talk about mental health, burnout, loss, grief, love, and purpose. All the things that don't fit neatly on a set list. Just recently, and I won't get into detail, but I lost a dear friend who I had a blast touring with, and it's kind of messed me up a little bit. Um, so it leaves a lot to make you think. So here's the deal: if you're listening right now, you're watching this. If you're struggling, if you need someone to talk to, if you're feeling doubt, anything, please hear what I'm about to say clearly, because I didn't believe it until it was said to me by someone very important. This damn tracking mode. Um, just hear this very carefully, because I'm going to say it because I mean it. It's not a slogan, although people make shit a slogan nowadays. So hear this clearly. You matter. You are needed. And whether you believe it or not, this world is a better place with you in it. Like I said, I never believed that before for myself, but now I do, and you have to understand that it's a reality. You do matter. You have a voice, you have an opinion, you have feelings, and they're warranted. You have to understand, and you don't have to have it all figured out, because none of us do. We're never going to have it all figured out by the time we die. Um, you don't have to be strong all the time. I always thought you had to be tough. I always thought you had to be strong all the time. You don't have to be. Um, and you don't have to do this alone. There are people, friends, organizations that will listen. This podcast exists solely to remind people they're not invisible, that your story has a value. And if this show even helps one person take a breath, make a call, or feel a little less alone, then everything I've done to make this show happen. And trust me, it's not cheap, it's not easy, and it's fucking stressful. But if I help one person, then this has all been worth it. Helping people now matters to me more than it did before. And it was never really, it never mattered to me always. But anyone who knows me knows that. But life's got a way of kicking you in the ass, and you fall flat on your ass, and it makes you think about what really matters. You know, in the eloquent words of Black Widow from the Marvel movies, I've got a lot of red in my ledger, and I need to make things right. Yeah, whatever. If anybody knows me quoting Marvel, that's pretty much still on brand for me. Um, but it's true. This podcast is a part of me making things right, part of me trying to be better, and a part of me giving back to the community that has helped shape my life. Okay, now with my gratitude out of the way, a quick update. And I want to be honest about this and kind of just forthright because people think, well, he's quitting. No, I'm not quitting. No, I was on tour. Now I'm home. There's a metric shit ton of stuff going on right now. We're buying a house and we'll be moving. It's all a lot of timing stuff. But right now, this podcast is temporarily what we call in the industry dark while I get the guest list ready for season two, which is holy crap, going to be badass. Um, and lock them in, but the big part was mainly focusing on something I started, had a lot of interest from a couple publishers, and that's my children's books. Yes, I, the demon of the East, has written children's books. Go figure. But I want to finish them. I'm working with a publisher right now. We're just kind of finiting them and tuning them into place for they'll be between the ages of 3 and 10 years old to read, and so we're just trying to make them kid friendly. They are kid friendly, but just trying to lay them out a little bit easier. But the books matter to me because they're about the dogs that I've had in my life who have all taught me a lesson, and it took a while to realize what those lessons were. But they're cute kids books and they're real stories. They're not some guy in a corner making up some stories. These are actually all real things that I've gone through with my dogs. But the books the books matter deeply to me and they deserve my full attention. It's not the end. I'm just pausing the podcast while I get the guest list ready for season two, which will be um probably start filming the first week of February, maybe a little bit sooner with a couple different episodes. But it takes a lot. It really, it's not just filming a podcast and having a guest on and talking and bullshitting the whole time. There's social media that comes with it. There's a ton of stuff. It's a lot of time, a lot of resources, and honestly, it's just me doing it. So when it takes a few hours a day to do all that, it's tough. But like I said, I'll be back filming again early February. Season two is looking pretty badass. I got some great guests lined up and more. So with that being said, if you're listening and thinking, hey, I've got a story, I want to hear from you. All right. If you're a roadie, a crew member, an artist, management, it doesn't matter. I don't care who you are, because it may be called the RockStar Roadie podcast, but a rock star could be anybody. A roadie could be anybody. Your story matters. So here's what you're going to do. If you want to be on the podcast and you want to be heard and you want to talk, if you want to help make a difference, contact me directly. And it's simple email address, contact@rockstarroadiepodcast.com. And I'll put that in the this description here when I post these. But reach out. I'm down. This show for me has always been about real people, real voices, and that's never going to change. I don't care how big or little this show becomes, it's never going to change. And another thing, looking ahead. So, knock on wood, everybody. Knock on wood. Hopefully, May of 2026, this year, I will be moving into a new, much larger podcast studio, giving us room to grow, to create, and bring even more voices into the space, but also plenty of room for activities. You know that quote. Um, there were moments this year when I wasn't sure, in all honesty, if this podcast would survive. When life got loud, when doubt crept in, when exhaustion tried to win. Anytime that any of that happened, someone had reached out, whether it be a comment or an email, and said, that episode helped me. I needed to hear that day. Then I got fired up again. We all go through dealing with self doubt. Everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the happiest person on the planet. When you're alone, you have self doubt. It's just reality. Nobody's that freaking happy. And if you are, give me those drugs. Um, so, but as we move through this year, buckle up, strap in, not on. We're going to go deeper and louder. Giggity. More honest. And, well, I'm always pushing the envelope for more unfiltered. So, with that being said, from wherever I am to wherever you are, thank you all. Thank you for listening to me, letting me babble. Thank you for supporting myself and the guests. I know you could be doing a million other things, but taking the time to watch, listening to the podcast means more to me than you can ever imagine. So thank you for supporting my mission. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, as always, be real, be you, be ever fucking present in the moment and life, and just be you because you matter. Thank you all so damn much. I appreciate you all.